All right, next topic, group economics. How do you expand the lifespan of a dollar in your community?
Hmm.
They say money talks, but where it goes says even more. In many communities, a dollar doesn't last long before it leaves, while in others, it circulates and builds wealth for generations. Why is that? And more importantly, how can we take control of our financial power? Let's talk about how we can keep money in our communities longer and leverage group economics to create real financial impact. Let's dive in.
Yes, sir.
This is a great topic. I always like talking about these type of
You and
topics
me
because
both.
these are life changing topics.
Yes.
These are topics that will change our trajectory as a people, as a community, as families, as whatever. Fill in the blank. You know,
Hmm.
this will put you on the path to success,
Yep.
financial freedom, all the above. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
I agree. And the thing about group economics that sticks out to me the most is it's a practice that we do engage in. It's just when we engage in it isn't typically for our own enrichment. It's
Mm.
for someone else's bank account's enrichment. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm funny you said that because what came to my mind is something that I wanted to talk about, which I'm like, I'm irritated. Like we supposed to be doing this boycott, right?
Right.
This weekend is supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I keep hearing about
Yeah,
you talking about the Target one?
it's
Or
no.
just this
This weekend is
period?
supposed to be a big one. Like we supposed to not buy.
I ain't been tapped in, y'all, so this is new
This
news to
weekend
me.
we ain't supposed to buy
And by
anything.
we, who are we specifically referring to?
Us
Americans of African descent. Gotcha.
Americans of African descent,
Gotcha.
and you know they're boycotting Target. I'm sorry, I just went to Target yesterday, got my detergent, my toothpaste, and my facial scrub. All that, you know, I like Target. Target ain't did nothing to me, and I don't know. So, but my question, the point I want to make is, we make these stances
Hmm.
to boycott, right? And so don't go to Target. So what are we going to do with the money that we don't spend at Target?
Exactly.
Are we taking it to give it to another entity company that may be just as racist as you think Target
Right.
is, but you
Facts.
just don't know about it?
Right.
Or are we taking it and putting it into a pot that will give us some collective economic
Hmm.
structure or stability or
Some sort of
leverage?
fun. Right.
Yeah, or
Right.
something. You know, like I said in the last one, like even with the whole Black History Month, like everyone make a big thing about Black History Month, but is Black History Month the month that we collectively come together and create add another black hospital? Is February the month that we come together and now we open up another black bank?
Hmm.
Or is February another month when we open up another black school because we all done took our money and put it together
Yep.
to benefit us in the long run as a community?
Hmm.
The Jewish community got it down pat. They
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, all the other communities know how to
Asian
work
community,
together.
Hispanic community,
They all sitting back laughing at us, and then here we
Indian
go.
community.
Here we go talking about we boycotting uh, this weekend. We're not going to the stores. It starts Friday, but Thursday you gonna go and double up on everything that you will have bought that
Hmm.
Friday.
Yeah. Facts.
Make it make
The
sense.
math ain't mathing.
Make it make sense. You know the people that if I'm the CEO of Target and you say
Right.
I'm not coming on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'm gonna have a sale on Thursday and Wednesday.
But Thursday you coming in there getting everything you need for the
Right.
rest of the month,
Right. Right.
buying two of everything just so you can get through the boycott.
Right.
Who is winning and who is losing?
Right.
You know,
I agree.
I just want us to think through it. Like I understand the galvanizing and getting us together. I
Hmm.
get that, but we got to get to step two.
Hmm.
What do we do with the means that we withhold from these corporations?
Hmm.
When do we put it together to make it work for us? Like we said, make it circulate in our community. I know that's kind of off on a tangent, but I felt like it
You
was.
want to know another example that I saw recently of group economic? Well, how economics can be executed from an organization perspective was when Joy Reid show got canceled on MSNBC. I saw so many memes of we not letting this go, boycott NBC. We gonna let
Oh, they
them
had a
go. They
GoFundMe.
right. I saw so much action, so much organization, so much group economics off of one sister getting fired.
Right.
And that's what I mean from my earlier point when I was saying that we already know how to execute group economics.
Mm-hmm.
We already practice it. We just don't practice it to enrich ourselves. We just
Right.
practice it to enrich other people's bank accounts outside of our communities.
And the thing to that Joy Reid situation, she got canceled because she ain't had the ratings.
Yeah, right. It's still a
Number
business,
one,
right?
and then another point I want to say, she didn't have the ratings because we're not watching it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we come together to fight it,
That's
and
actually a good point, right?
but are y'all watching her show?
Right.
Because if y'all was watching the shit, they wouldn't have canceled it.
Yep.
They canceled it because it ain't no viewers. But now that she got canceled, all the black people want to be in uproar, like, oh, this is racist.
So hustling backwards.
Yeah, like, but do you watch the show?
Nope.
No. It's
Nope.
like it's like
Nope.
Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. There's a there because there's other things that we got to worry about.
Exactly. We got bigger fish to fry.
We have bigger fish to fry. Like there's a stat that says back in 1950, um uh um the white people Americans from European descent.
Right.
I'm gonna have to get it right. Americans from European descent was about 80% of the United States.
Okay.
And
okay.
1950 they was 80%. Now black Americans of African descent and Americans of Latino descent are about 40% of the population now. So with that saying, the trajectory is, in another 5 to 10 years, will the minority will be the majority in America.
Got you.
And the spending power that we have as the minority is, like we said, like in the trillions.
Yes.
So for the first time in American history, America won't be able to operate without the minorities.
Yes, right. Because the dominant society, quote unquote, the Americans of European descent, they won't be in they won't have the numbers no more.
Right.
And so now, going back to just basic math, they just won't have the numbers.
Right. Matter of fact, let me play this video to because I know I'm paraphrasing and I could be, but let's roll into this video.
What about DEI now? For the certain people who have been suppressed and forgotten, we need our jobs. We need equal rights. What's your stance on that?
I don't care about DE&I. You want to kill it, kill it. It's already been weaponized. It's been made political. It's dead. DE&I as a program is effectively dead. I don't care about DE&I. I love diversity. We're having the wrong argument. In fact, we're arguing. There's no need to argue. There's not enough college-educated, successful white men to drive GDP, gross domestic product, for the next 20 years. In 1950, America was 90% white. Not 1850, Cam. 1950. Today, America's 40% black and brown. Within 10 years, there'll be a majority of minorities. 70% of the U.S. economy, $29 trillion, is consumer spending. That's you and me. Going to restaurants, going to lunch, playing video games. That's consumer spending. That's us. So for the first time in history, this country cannot succeed without all of us. So unless my white friends want to be speaking Mandarin in 20 years, meaning Chinese, we better figure out in the next 5 or 10 years that we're better together.
Hey, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like we could start
small in the home, right?
And it starts in the home, and that's what we were saying as it relates to us reaching Gen Beta and looking at the future. We have to start early.
Mm-hmm.
Putting the STEM applications into their mindset, into their everyday dealings and understandings and lives and interactions. That we have to put those tools, equip them with those tools early, so therefore it could be easier for them.
Yep.
In the long run, and we all be winning. Like the video said, you got a son, you got a daughter. Hey, you can stay here with me, and that's another thing we don't do in our community. Once that motherfucker turns 17, 18, you got to go. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm sick of your ass. You ain't shit. You just like your sorry ass father. We know that. We know how the dialogue go. Get the fuck out. And you know what I mean? It's like now we out here in the street, couch surfing.
Yep.
doing here, doing things that impede on our integrity, because you need somewhere to stay.
Right.
Now you in circumstances where you might have to give something that you don't want to give up, whether it's your sexuality, whether it's your body, whether it's
Right.
your
Right.
your money, your integrity, your character. Now we're in these positions where we have to make all these decisions because we're out here in the middle of the ocean swimming with these sharks at
Yep.
18 years old.
Yep.
Compared to where other cultures, you can stay home as long as you want till you get on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're staying there, all right, let's help mom.
Yep.
Let's help
Let's
dad.
contribute.
Let's contribute. So it's easier for them and it's easier for you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I usually hear the quote unquote wise parents and smart parents, what they'll do is they'll still collect rent from the kid. Because I do believe it is important for that 18-year-old to have the to know what it feels like to have the responsibility of having to pay that $500, $600, $700 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't spend the money.
Right.
When the kid, let's say at 18, but then at 25, the kid decides they want to quote unquote go out on their own. The parents usually save that money and then they give that kid all that 5 years of rent that they done paid so that they have some money to get started off on. But again, group economics.
Right.
That's another way of executing. Now, there's another video that I wanted to talk about. So let's just say you are in that position where you did get kicked out and you are on your own couch surfing or you are trying to hold it down at your own rental. Let's talk about how you can implement group economics that way.
Actually, we're looking at group economics. Group economics starts at home. If I can live with my mum and she can provide me with a room, that means that that is cheaper for me to live at home, so my costs are lower, but I can also contribute and help her so she, again, gets a benefit from me being there. We're both winning. And that's the mindset that I think we should have. That's how I feel like we should look at it. I don't think we should say, oh, you're my mum, you shouldn't charge me. And, oh, I'm a child, I should be able to stay here rent free. We should think about, how do I add value to the environment that I'm in?
Hey, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like we could start
small in the home, right?
And it starts in the home, and that's what we were saying as it relates to us reaching Gen Beta and looking at the future. We have to start early. Putting the STEM applications into their mindset, into their everyday dealings and understandings and lives and interactions. That we have to put those tools, equip them with those tools early, so therefore it could be easier for them.
Yep.
In the long run, and we all be winning. Like the video said, you got a son, you got a daughter. Hey, you can stay here with me, and that's another thing we don't do in our community. Once once that motherfucker turns 17, 18, you got to go. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm sick of your ass. You ain't shit. You just like your sorry ass father. We know that. We know how the dialogue go. Get the fuck out. And you know what I mean? It's like now we out here in the street, couch surfing, doing here, doing things that impede on our integrity, because you need somewhere to stay.
Right.
Now you in circumstances where you might have to give something that you don't want to give up, whether it's your sexuality, whether it's your body, whether it's your your money, your integrity, your character. Now we're in these positions where we have to make all these decisions because we're out here in the middle of the ocean swimming with these sharks at 18 years old. Compared to where other cultures, you can stay home as long as you want till you get on your feet. But when you're staying there, all right, let's help mom. Let's help dad.
Contribute.
Let's contribute. So it's easier for them and it's easier for you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I usually hear the quote unquote wise parents and smart parents, what they'll do is they'll still collect rent from the kid. Because I do believe it is important for that 18-year-old to have the to know what it feels like to have the responsibility of having to pay that $500, $600, $700 a month. But they don't spend the money.
Right.
When the kid, let's say at 18, but then at 25, the kid decides they want to quote unquote go out on their own. The parents usually save that money and then they give that kid all that 5 years of rent that they done paid so that they have some money to get started off on. But again, group economics.
Right.
That's another way of executing. Now, there's another video that I wanted to talk about. So let's just say you are in that position where you did get kicked out and you are on your own couch surfing or you are trying to hold it down at your own rental. Let's talk about how you can implement group.
So, for example, looking at group economics, that's a strategy that someone could employ. So if you, for example, want to save more money or have more money at the end of the month, and I want to have more money at the end of the month, maybe what we do with it is different in terms of our goals, but at the end of the day, we both want to have more money. And you might have a house and a spare bedroom for guests that you're not using, and I'm renting right now. Maybe I'm renting for like $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
And you say to me, hey, Andrew, we both need to save a little bit more money at the end of the month. I know you got some credit card bills trying to pay down. I'll offer the room to you for $600.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the group economics right there, where you're winning because now you got an extra 600. I got an extra 600 because I cut my housing expense in half. So, we kind of have to think in that mentality of how can we help one another in this situation, and that can really be beneficial for both people.
Yeah, that's
I don't understand how we don't get it.
Man.
But you know what? I understand. I do understand, to be devil's advocate. And it comes down to your character
Mhm.
and your integrity, and you being a man of your word, a man or woman of your word. I understand why people aren't um so anxious to make a decision like that, because you let somebody move in and run out the room, and then they your friends or your family, they have a tendency to take advantage of you,
Yeah.
and don't pay you the money. Then
Right.
they got a song and a dance, and that's why I said it comes down to your integrity and your character.
Yes.
We have to also address that. Maybe we'll do an episode
Yeah,
on
we'll
that,
do that, yeah.
integrity and character.
Yeah.
And because all we have is our word.
Yes.
And it's important that we are men and women of our words, and it's important that we have integrity and character, and we have respect for people in general, but even more so people that are going out of their way or opening up a way for you to work with them to make your life and their life better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to play devil's advocate, I could see how a lot of people like, I ain't letting that nigga, I ain't rent my room out to nobody. I
need my space.
He ain't coming up in here.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. And I get it, but once, like we said, when we look at the big picture, and once we get to that space in our own right, where we have integrity and we have character and we have respect for your space that you're opening up
Right.
for me,
Right.
and I can come in there and I know, all right, let me clean up behind myself, make sure ain't no dishes, make sure that I clean the bathroom myself at least once a week, so it ain't build up
Right.
grime around the tub and in the shower and
Right.
the toilet, shit stains all in the toilet. There's a whole lot of nasty shit that comes
Right.
with, because us as humans, we got our own
Right. No, 100%.
waste and dirt in your own house by yourself.
Mhm.
So when someone else comes in, so you just got to be mindful. All right, nobody shouldn't have to ask you to clean the bathroom.
Exactly.
Nobody shouldn't have to ask you to clean the kitchen.
Right.
Nobody shouldn't have to ask you to run the vacuum machine in the house. Nobody should.
Well, in your case, the what's it called, the Swiffer?
The Swiffer, right?
The Swiffer.
Right. Nobody shouldn't have to ask you, to do all that. That your character.
You're right. But again, that's home training.
That's home training, right?
That comes from the home.
That
so
comes
if
from the
the,
home.
if people are coming from a household structure where that's not even taught, then when they do get out into the real world, they can't practice things like group economics because again, they're not gonna have a character that's gonna make people feel confident they can trust in them to pay them or to do what they say they're supposed to be doing, unless it's something that this person wants to do. So like again, we'll practice group economics for a guy's trip to Jamaica, girl's trip to the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wedding in Vegas.
Right.
We will practice
wedding.
We will practice group economics for stuff like that. But when it comes to buying a business or buying some real estate, buying rental properties, or just saving money to just for the sake of putting it into some dividend stock, it's like we can't do that. You can't do it.
And also, another way to do the group economics. Did we speak on this before? How the church could be
we
catalyst.
talked about that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think we talked about that.
I think we talked about it like
off
camera.
But I don't think we brought it to the people, to the fans.
So we're gonna spend a little bit more time on this segment just to bring up this point because that is actually a good point we need to make here.
Yeah, and you want to drive it?
All right, so I'll start off because again I think I brought it up. So as when we were talking off camera specifically about this topic when we were doing our research and our having our meeting, we brought up how the church. When I was in Arkansas this past Yeah, when I was when actually I dropped you off, so I came back through my people's in Gippsland, and then so I was chilling with one of my relatives, and he was busting down some of just our family history. But one of the things I remember he kept bringing back to was talking about how the church was the cornerstone of the community, how everything went down there. That's where the church was the platform for commerce. That's where everybody came. A certain on Sundays, for example, you would have your crops to sell, or that's if there was a meeting that needs to be held about the community, it was done at the church. So the church was the centerpiece of the community. It was like the community center. And he was talking about how specifically now when it comes to money, like that's where you would have those meetings. And so it's like when we fast forward to now, it's like, why doesn't the church do that anymore? Why isn't the church that centerpiece of the community when it comes to industry, when it comes to commerce, when it comes to, in this case, group economics, like it once was?
Yeah.
Specific, especially in the communities of Americans of African descent, like that was literally our platform. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happened if it didn't go through the church. So it's like, why isn't that the case nowadays? Like, how is it that I think one stat I saw recently, a while back, it was like there's been an estimate of over like $400 billion in taxes collected just in the American of African descent churches alone. And this is now over, let's just say 20 to 30 years.
They don't pay taxes.
But that's my point. They don't pay taxes, but those ties, so they've still collected billions of dollars.
Oh, well, if they did pay taxes.
No, not just on the strength of just the tithes. That's what I'm saying. They've just collected billions in tithes alone.
Gotcha.
But it's just like our communities and where these churches is at, it don't look like they've collected billions of dollars in tithes. It doesn't.
Well, if you go to the preacher's house,
right. If you look at his photo album or her photo album, right?
If you see the Maybach he pulled up in, and then the Jag coupe that she pimping in Beverly Hills, and the Louis Vuitton from head to toe, and the never wear the same outfit twice that she
that's their
vibe she gives.
So maybe that's probably where
where you looking.
So the billion. So now again, we still pulling y'all chain, but we still being serious because again these billions have went someplace, and it ain't the community.
And the point that we're making, that how the church can be effective in group economics, because number one, you have the community gathering, and you're
once a week,
twice
at a bare minimum.
Twice, because they got Bible class, and then they got their service.
So 2 days a week, y'all got community.
3 times on Sunday,
and let's not forget the revival.
And Sunday school, and that pastor's anniversary,
right?
And Women's Day,
right? And Women's Day, right?
Right.
And then we can't forget the Christmas pageant
and the Family and Friends Day, and the Easter play,
right?
You know, right. But the point, man, we're joking, but the point being is, so I was talking to Dane. I was like, so how could the church be, critical in this economic realm of things? And so he was saying that whether you have a ministry, an investment ministry at the church,
right,
where the members can join the ministry, like you could join the choir, you could join the usher board, you could join the deacon board, or whatever the case may be. Have an investment board where you're obligated to put up a certain amount of money, whether it's once a month, every week, part of your tithe, or whatever the case may be. You put up money, and then y'all invest into properties and buildings and things, and everyone that's in it will benefit from it. And I think the church could really benefit, or could really impose that ideology on our people. Because like you said, we already have them coming together. That's so
the organization
that's half
part
the
is already
battle.
there,
That's
right?
half the battle, is to
Literally
galvanize people and get them to come together.
Organize.
Right. So you got us all there. Stop draining them of their resources and their money and their time, and not putting nothing back into them and the community. We're not talking about no free turkey meal on Thanksgiving.
Right.
We ain't talking about no toy drive around Christmas. We ain't talking about no Easter play on Easter and Christmas play and where you still perpetuating Santa Claus and reindeers and chimneys and all that bull crap, and Easter bunnies and all that stuff, and Easter egg hunts.
Right.
Come on, let's have some let's raise some capital.
Yeah, let's invest in some stuff.
Let's invest in and where it's
Let's buy a block
and invest in stuff where not just the church is the beneficiary of it.
Right.
Because I realize they are doing that. They are doing that, but it's the church that's on the lease.
Mm-hmm.
The church reaps those benefits.
Yep.
The church reaps that harvest from said businesses or properties or whatever business engagements they get into. And it's like, come on, let's give it to the people. Let's elevate the minds of our people, and not only the churches, even like we even said fraternities and sororities.
Yep.
Let's start collectively getting our people together to put resources and things that will give back to the people that put the resources up.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. But we got a lot of people that just want to take and hoard, and money is never enough. I heard a preacher say the worst animal in the jungle is not the lion, is the love of money. That's the biggest animal on this planet. The most vicious is the love of money, because the love of money will make you kill your brother.
Yep.
It'll make you kill your father.
Make you kill your mama.
It'll make you snitch on your mama. It'll make you sell your child, your firstborn.
Right.
It'll make you sell your child into as a sex slave, or it'll make you prostitute your niece, your nephew. It'll make you sell your own soul.
Yes.
As you see people in Hollywood, the love of money, they will sacrifice the integrity of their life, their well-being, just so they could be able to say they have X, Y, and Z, or the money or the finances, the means to do it. So, with all that being said, as we wrap it up, group economics, there's a lot of, you know what, and this is a good segue to the next video, because if the church implements these ways and practices, we could do group economics on a big scale.
Yes.
Because you have huge mega churches all over the world. Ain't nowhere, they don't need no G6 and all that. Come on, that money could be put into other things and other means. And so there's a video where they were talking about the Seminole Indians, and how they started small. How when they land was taken, and then they negotiated, or whatever the case may be, where they was able to get their reservations and their part of the land, and given space to do what they needed to do. They came together and was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. And now, as a result of them starting small, they have created something huge. Look at this video.
Oh, you want to be a rapper? You want to be whatever, I don't care, whatever it is that you want to be. Nope, everyone's going to put all that on pause. It's about 10,000 people in the tribe. You're going to go to school in hospitality, and you're going to learn how to be able to run a hotel, how to run casinos and tunnel vision, because this is about our tribe getting to generational wealth. Wow. So everyone was like, all right, let me go ahead, learn about hospitality and retail, everything. So everyone went back to school, learned these things. Then from there, they had their first casino. They had to fight for casino rights, because remember, they're not federally recognized, but their land they own that land. So they had their first casino. Today, they own every Hard Rock in the world.
Wow.
The Seminoles is the most, I would say shout out to the Seminoles. Y'all know y'all give me love when I come down there. I love the Seminoles.
So, like I was saying, on a large scale, as we see the Seminole Indians, they took something, they started small. They reached out to their community. They reached out to Gen Beta, like we were saying, and instilled in them,
this is what y'all gonna do.
This is what y'all gonna do. All right.
Not what you passionate about, not what you like. This is because this is the big picture that we got. This is like you said, this is the grand vision.
This is the way we all coming up, and we all eating for generations. This is the way. This is what we have to do. This is a must. This is there's no option.
Yep.
Your choice and your feelings are not a factor. This is what we're doing here. get down or lay down.
Mhm.
As Beanie
Wow,
Siegel
real
said.
spit, real
Like,
spit.
and this is how we have to approach the younger generation and stop giving them so many choices and so
Yes.
many options. They was like, look, you're going to go to school for hospitality, you're going to go to school for retail, you're going to learn how to do business. Then we come back, look, we got this hotel, casino, we got the casino, we done bought the casino, boom, 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 you running it. Now they own all the Hard Rock casinos in America. Started from that one endeavor, that one ideology, that one collective thinking, that one collective
That one big
economic
grand vision.
ideology, that
Right.
one vision.
Yeah.
Vision is key. That one vision, they set. That's why you don't hear nothing from you. Out of all the people, you got the blacks, the whites, the Asians. You don't never hear from these quote unquote Native Americans. Sometimes I think when they made it Indigenous Day or whatever the case may be, there was a little riots and protests, but and relates to how we always mad about something. Cause they good. They got their reservations. They govern their own people.
Right.
They have their own laws and rules, and they have their residual income coming in. Because every casino that you go into, best believe you're paying into the
Group economics, man.
of the Native Americans. They knew how to capitalize on the market, on a commodity, and they good. They set.
Yep. So it takes time, but it can be done.
It can be done.
Group economics.